Genevieve Wood is a senior contributor for the Heritage Foundation's The Daily Signal, and she joins me now. Genevieve, good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning.
These folks have a dilemma on their hands as school gets started. What do you think?
Well, they do, because the reality is, Martha, it's the rule of the land. It's the law of the land. Back in 1982, the Supreme Court passed a case, I should say, upholding the fact that illegal children in this country illegally had the right to a public education. And so May 8th of earlier this year, the Department of Education, the Department of Justice sent a letter to school districts around the country saying, you've got to let these children come in. And the reality is they don't even have to prove they're living in the district, because many of them are with guardians or not with their parents. But basically, if they show up and say, I'm in this area, I'm living here, the school districts have to let them in.
I mean, it seems so incongruous, because I know there are lots of cases in this country where kids try to go to school in another district because the school is better over there. So you're not even allowed to cross. If you're an American citizen, you're not even allowed to, sneak across a line and go to a school that's outside of your neighborhood. So how do you justify that?
Well, you can't justify it. What they say is, if they can't prove they're living somewhere, and let's be obvious, many of these kids don't have any papers or any kind of validation with them, they basically can claim they're homeless. And that's what they're told to do, and the school districts have to let them go to school there. But look, I think we have to be careful to focus all of the attention here on the children, because it is the law, and I don't think any of us think these children are going to be better off in this country if they're uneducated. The problem is not that. The problem is the fact they're here in the first place illegally. So, it's interesting that the Department of Justice sends out a letter saying, we've got to enforce this law, but it's the same Department of Justice that's not been very good at enforcing our other immigration laws where that's their job. So that's why it's so important we're enforcing border security and our other immigration laws, and not just enforcing laws once these children and other illegal immigrants get here. I mean, there's a cost here. You saw Governor Rick Perry talking at Heritage yesterday. Governor Mary Fallon, who's the governor of Oklahoma, actually wrote a piece for the Daily Signal on this issue, and she said, look, 1 in 4 children in Oklahoma already are not graduating from high school.
What?
1 in 4 children in Oklahoma already are at the hunger level, and now we're piling more children into the system.
You're saying, you have to deal with the chicken before the egg, and I agree with you. I can only imagine what the outcry is going to be like in classrooms that are already overcrowded in so many of these areas. The parents are going to be extremely unhappy, is my guess, when these classrooms start getting more crowded and their kids who are there legally are not getting the attention they think they deserve. We got it. Go ahead.
You're right about that, but what I would encourage parents to do is, I wouldn't necessarily go protest at the schools. What I would do is go vote on November 4th, because the reality is this is a problem in Washington. Rick Perry was right yesterday. Our lawmakers are not standing up. So anybody who's up for election this year, if you've got Kagan in North Carolina or Mark Pryor down in Arkansas, ask them if they currently stand with their party, if they stand with President Obama on this issue. Ask their opponents where they stand. People can make a difference, but you do it at the ballot box. I wouldn't be protesting the children. It's not their fault.
Genevieve, thank you very much. Genevieve Wood.
Thank you.